A million ways to make a million. Time is what y'all really killing.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to start like a new series, I guess you could say. I have no idea what to call it yet, but it'll basically just be me talking to you guys and helping you guys with a couple of things that I know like a lot of people need, or things that I think that will help you guys out. And I originally created this channel to do like vlogs and makeup videos and fashion things, but I also really wanted to make this channel to kind of help people out and give good advice and help you guys out basically. So today's video is going to be a time management video. I think that it's a really important topic that I think should be talked about. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get on with the video. I made a list of things. It's not a lot, but I just have so much things to talk about. I just jotted them down really quick. So I have like 5 things I wanted to touch base on, and it's basically just things I think are really important when it comes to time management. I am a freshman in college and I just started my first year this year, but I think throughout my high school career and just growing up in general, I had to learn to kind of grow up quickly and be a lot more mature than most of my friends and most people in my family in general. I've always been like the oldest. I am the oldest one, but I've always been the more mature and really responsible one, so I kind of want to take that and like sprinkle it on to you guys so that you guys can take away something from it. Or I hope it helps you out, or I'm just sitting here like saying some stuff that doesn't even matter. But anyways, I feel like I'm bragging and I hate bragging about myself, but yeah, so just a little bit of background information. Also, I got a job my senior year and I still work there. Well, not at the specific mall, but I still work there. Things were a little tough my senior year, like financially and emotionally, like a big family problem and all that stuff, but I'll get into that maybe another video, not here. So yeah, I had to basically like help my family out a lot that year, especially financially and like emotionally, and just everything. I just really had to help out last year. While doing that, I basically took on like my mom's position, like being a mom in my family, so it really helped me become even more mature than I am and a lot more responsible. So I just wanted to pass that on to you guys, and if you guys need a video like this for time management and stuff, and basically how I was able to work into AP classes, a club, ASB, a job, and then my family problems, while also having a boyfriend who lives like 2 hours away. I was able to get through my senior year basically and graduate in white. All would have to be because of time management. I used to have horrible time management my junior year because I had went to online school, and that was just ass. I had like horrible grades, like my worst grades ever. And basically my senior year I like bounced back from that. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get on with the list. Number 1 thing I would have to say is actually create a list. I feel like listing things down is a really good visual, and it really helps you understand and see like what you need to do, what needs to be done, so that you can see it. You can make it on your phone in like the notes section. You can go ahead and write it down. What I like to do is I like to write it down, just because I feel like there's like a connection between like seeing it and then like writing it. I don't know, but I just like writing it down. I feel like it's more like official that way, whereas if it's on my phone, I feel like it's just like a whatever thing because it is on my phone. So I like to write it down, whether it's on sticky notes, on like blank sheets of paper, little notebooks, really anywhere. I just like to write it down and get everything down and see like what's going on this week, what's going on this month, and all that stuff. And that kind of transitions into my next point, which is calendars and planners. I live off of these things. I have 2 planners right now. One of them doesn't start until next year, so that's why I have 2. And then I also have like a really big calendar on my desk just sitting right in front of me, and it really helps visually because I get to see like what's going on in that month. And it's like those whiteboard calendars, so I can change it every month. And it's really helpful because you can kind of see an overview of what you have to do that month and what is coming up, what like plans you have, meetings, things you need to pay for, due dates, holidays, and all that stuff that a calendar does. But what I like about the whiteboard calendars is you get to like write in your specific things, and then the squares are like a little bit bigger that way rather than like the paper calendars. But also I like the calendars that come in like the planner. The planners I get are usually like monthly, and then they do weekly, so I get to like transfer everything onto those two different calendars, and that way I have the calendar at home, which I can look at on a daily basis basically, and then the planner that I have that I take with me to school, just so if anything pops up I could just check it and see if I'm available on that day during that time. The next point I would have to say would be to know your schedule first of all. Like, let's say you have school and work and you have like family things you need to take care of, then make sure you work around that schedule, like the things that are more important. So personally for me, just like a little example, I have to drop off my sister in the morning and I have to pick her up after school, and then I also have work once in a while. So what I did was I worked my school schedule around it. When you're in college, you have like a lot more flexibility with what time you take your class and all that stuff. But I also had to work it around my schedule. So I picked like I have to drop off my sister at 8 in the morning. So I picked classes that are around, or my first class is at 10:30. And then basically just work around the schedule, that if my mom needs me to do something for her or to pick up my sister or drop her off somewhere, anything like that, my schedule is kind of worked around that, because my family is very like reliant on me. I don't know if a lot of kids or a lot of people go through this too. I'm pretty sure they do. I just haven't really met anyone that go through the same things as me. But so basically just know your schedule, whether it be work or school, and kind of like memorize that, so you know, just in case something comes up and you're like, oh, I can't because I have class at that time or I have to go to work. So you really have to know like your priorities, like what's more important to you, your family, and your lifestyle basically. Just make sure you know like what days you have class, what times, especially times is always like the main thing. You may know the dates but you don't know the times, and that's kind of like, yeah, just know your schedule, like memorize it, know when you have to be somewhere, and stick to it. My next point, moving on with that, would be to be consistent. I mean, it's one thing to like go to class every day and do all of this stuff and be organized, but if you're not consistent with it, like on a daily, like weekly basis, you're not gonna get anywhere and you're not gonna have time to do anything for yourself. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. Just be consistent on the timing, and yeah, that's pretty much all I can say about that. Just be consistent. Get whatever you need to do done, and make sure you know the times and all that stuff. Okay, sorry for the lighting. It's like almost 6 o'clock and the clouds keep going in front of the sun. So my next point would be homework is always first. I don't care if you don't like doing your homework. I know everybody procrastinates. I do it all the time. I just want to say that if you can do it first, do it right when you get home. Take a nap. Go eat, take a nap, then do it right away. Don't wait last minute. I know everybody does this, but honestly, like, if you get it done, then it's done. You don't have to worry about it anymore, and it won't be like a last minute thing, especially if you have to print something and it's like due like at 9 o'clock in the morning. You gotta print that shit. That's not good. And what if you like run out of ink, run out of printer, your printer's not working, something always has to happen. So I would just say to get it done as soon as possible, no matter what. I just get it done like a day before it's due at least, or you know, a couple hours earlier if you're my boyfriend. But yeah, just make sure you get your homework done and over with, and know the due dates, and again, like, write that on your planner, on your calendar, write it somewhere you can see it, write it on a sticky note, stick it to your wall, just somewhere where you can see it. And so like you remind yourself like, oh, it's due this day, I have like this many days to do what I have, you know what I mean, like especially with projects and stuff like that. So just get it over with, just do it. And I know you hate it, I hate homework too, but it's really satisfying to just get it done and over with, because you just take like one extra weight off of your shoulders, and that way you'll have more time to do other things. So yeah. So moving on with that, I would say, of course, to try not to procrastinate on anything. I haven't been procrastinating lately, and it feels really good because I have time to sit down and make videos for you guys. I have time to edit the videos. I have time to take baths and showers at the same time. Time to relax. I have more time with my family. I go and do whatever I want, basically. Just don't procrastinate. It really makes a difference whether you have an assignment and you're sitting there for like an hour not doing anything. That could be an hour you spent like watching TV, playing a video game, filming a video, editing a video, putting together an outfit, planning a trip. You know what I mean? Like that extra hour, 30 minutes could really be used for something else. And all you're doing is like wasting battery. But so yeah, I would just say just don't procrastinate. I know how hard it is. I do it less often now, but I used to do it all the time. I know my boyfriend does it every single day. Sorry, babe. But just really, as much as you can, try not to procrastinate. That way you get stuff done and you have more free time for yourself. Yeah. Okay, so my next point would be plan things ahead of time, or no last minute things. Last minute planning is like not the easiest, but it can be the easiest. I would say not to do anything last minute unless you know you're gonna get it done, because I know some people like me sometimes that if I do something last minute, I'll like finish it quicker and it'll be like high quality most of the time because I am trying to finish it fast and do as best as I can on it. If you're that type of person, go ahead, do it last minute. I wouldn't really recommend it, but like I said, if you're the type of person to like to do things last minute because you get it done like in an hour, then go ahead, go for it. But if you're not, then just don't do anything last minute. Get it over with, like I said. So yeah. Okay, so now for the fun stuff with time management. Since you already have like, you know, your schedule, your plan life mapped out, basically knowing what time you have to go somewhere, what time you have to be somewhere, knowing what time you have class, work, etc., etc. Now you have to kind of look into your schedule and kind of like lay it out and say, okay, I do this on Monday, do this, do this, do this, do this. And then let's say you have the weekend free. So you look at your weekend and you're like, okay, what can I do in these 3 days? 3 days is a long time. And I know some people just like to rest and relax. Like if that's you, go for it, do it. But if you're like me and you don't like staying home at all, you make the most out of those 3 days. So for me personally, I don't have class on Fridays this semester, so Fridays is kind of like my relax kind of day. And then Saturday and Sunday, I usually like wake up early and go to like a coffee shop or go shopping or do something like productive with my life, or get out of the house, go to the beach, do something. And that way you have something to do, if that makes sense. I don't know. So just find something within the week, like a certain time frame, an hour, 30 minutes, a day. It doesn't really matter as long as you get that like time for yourself, whether it be like taking a bath, like a relaxing bath, put one of those bath bombs in there, it doesn't matter. Going on like a road trip, going places by yourself. I do this all the time. People probably think I'm weird, but I literally go everywhere by myself. I think it's such an important thing to do, like go out and explore yourself, explore what you like doing, explore new places in your town, go to the library, the little bookstores, little thrift shops, like little like local places in your area, and really like explore, so that if you have friends over or you have nothing to do, you're like, oh, I went here, oh, I went here, oh, I did this, I did that, I did that. And it makes your life like a lot more interesting, if that makes sense. And also it's the experience, like, oh, let me just tell you, like going out and doing something for me now is a lot more rewarding than like buying a new shirt, buying some new shoes. Now I like to spend my money on experiences, like going to a coffee shop. That I think is fun for me because I have a coffee problem. Or like visiting like the beach, because there's gonna come a time where you have to do everything by yourself, be by yourself, and you're not gonna have your friends that are gonna come with you to the bathroom when only one of you guys needs to pee. But yeah, so learn how to do things on your own, which is another like a little independent tip I have for you guys. If you guys want a video on that, I could totally do that. I'm pretty independent. Not super, but a good amount, I would say. Where was I going with this? I don't even know. Oh, yeah, just totally find some free time in your week, and that way you can like de-stress and think about the week, think about your problems and your life, and kind of like a philosophy session with yourself. philosophy session with yourself, and just overall think about your life and what's going on, what you're doing wrong and what's going on in your life, etc., etc. But yeah, I think that's like a must. Like every week, just like do something by yourself and have fun. Moving on. So on the topic of time management, I know that especially if you're in high school, it's a little bit harder to time management since you're at school like every day for like 20,000 hours. But I did it, girl. So my sophomore year, I was in like a cheerleaderette thing, and I would go to school, have practice, go home, do homework, take a shower, or like eat in between and go sleep. Like especially if you're like a student athlete, you really have to learn how to time management. Like it's a must. Like I wish I had better time management back then. I really wish I did, but I didn't. So I really learned from that. And if you have bad time management, you will get there. You will get to the point where you got like 2 hours to yourself instead of 5 minutes on the toilet. You know what I mean? I think most of it is also like trial and error and like learning yourself and experiencing it yourself. I think that plays a large part in like time management. You have to really realize like, oh shit, like I'm not doing anything with my life, I don't have extra time. And then you kind of think about like, oh, what am I doing, what am I spending all my time on, etc., etc. So for me personally, I only have basically like 2 social medias that I use, which is Instagram and Snapchat. But my Snapchat is kind of just for me. Like I don't really add a whole bunch of people on there. And I do have a Twitter, but I don't use it. And that like my boyfriend made me realize like Twitter isn't really that important. It takes up a lot of time. You're just scrolling and scrolling. And the same thing with Instagram, but after a while you're like, okay, I'm getting kind of tired of looking at all these pictures, you know what I mean? So yeah, I just really don't use my Twitter anymore. And ever since then, I've just had so much free time. It's crazy. Figure out really what is taking up all of your time and kind of either cut back on it or just don't do it. I mean, it was hard for me to stop Twitter altogether. It was hard. It was just kind of like the right timing for me to be like, okay, push that to the side. Don't really need that. But yeah, so that's what I have to say about that. I'm trying to think if there's like anything else I can think of. Well, I believe that's it. I'm not sure if there's anything else. If you guys have any other questions on time management or anything that I said in this video, if I even said anything that made sense, but just comment them down below, or you can go ahead and direct message me on Instagram. I probably will reply a lot faster on Instagram, but I do get like the notifications when you guys comment, and I see those. Hello everyone. I try to reply as much as I can, but if there's just so many, like I can't reply to like every single one. I hope you guys took at least one thing from it, if not a couple. I don't know if I was just talking like bullshit or just talking like nothing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, comment down below any questions you have, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below somewhere down there. So yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.